What's going on, y'all? It's your boy No Credit, and I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. That being said, let's get into it. Terence Crawford checks Errol Spence Jr., Sebastian Fundora, and Tszyu. He checks Tszyu because Tszyu can't get a shot at the title anytime soon. So a lot of people thought Crawford was saying, you gotta wait in line. But I think he's speaking to Errol Spence, but it could apply to Errol Spence and Tszyu. He says, sorry, buddy, you gotta wait in line. So Tszyu and Crawford was in negotiation for a fight. I thought that was amazing because we all probably thought Tszyu was going to win the fight, I didn't make a prediction on this fight because I didn't really sit down and broke the fight down, all the possibilities, what could happen in this fight. So I didn't really make a prediction on that fight, and I didn't put money on that. But Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora was a classic fight where both guys showed they're not pound-for-pound talent. You guys understand what I'm saying? When I say they're not pound-for-pound talent, both guys can't make it on a pound-for-pound ranking because the lack of skill set, and we seen that because it was a bloody fight. I'm not saying people don't get cut in a fight. I'm saying their styles, the way their style crashed, it was guaranteed to be a bloody fight because the lack of skill set. Both guys have, I don't want to say zero defense, but they lack big in the defensive department. Tszyu was supposed to be the better fighter. He wasn't able to keep Fundora off him. He just wasn't. He wasn't able to establish his jab to keep Fundora off him. He let Fundora do whatever he wanted to do. Even though Tim was supposedly winning the fight, Fundora was still doing his thing. Tszyu wasn't able to control the fight, control the pace, control the ring, establish his ring generalship. He wasn't able to do that. He allowed Fundora to do what Fundora does. And Tim got cut in the process of allowing Fundora to do what Fundora does. And Tim getting cut led to Tim losing the fight because he said he couldn't see. Listen, you couldn't see. Hey, listen, you should have been able to stop Fundora from doing what Fundora was doing. You let that man get off on you, and it cost a cut on your forehead. You can't blame that on the loss. I've seen a lot of fighters get cut and still found a way to win. If we really want to go back in time, a couple years ago, a pound-for-pound talent, Arthur Beterbiev. I'm pretty sure you guys remember that fight. Beterbiev versus Marcus Brown. Don't tell me you ain't see that fight. Marcus Brown versus Beterbiev. Beterbiev had a nasty cut, one of the nastiest cuts you'll ever seen in the sport of boxing. And what did he do? He found a way to win. And the crazy thing about Beterbiev versus Marcus Brown was the one winning the fight. It wasn't Beterbiev winning the fight. Beterbiev was actually losing the fight. So this was the opposite for Tszyu. Tszyu was actually winning the fight. Beterbiev was down on the cards versus Marcus Brown. He was losing, and he had a cut, and he found a way to get the knockout. In this case, Tszyu was winning the fight, and he had a cut, and he lost the fight. See, that goes to show you Tszyu is not a pound-for-pound level talent. And the best guys at 147, I've always said it, the best guys at 147 are able to move up and beat the best guys at 154, and we're about to see that. Errol Spence is trying to steal the fight from Terence Crawford by moving up. But we don't know what's really going to happen. We know the PBC got pulled, but the WBO already mandated Crawford to get a negotiation with the winner. He was in talks with Tszyu, thinking Tim was going to win, but Tim fumbled the bag. So now we're going to see what Fundora is going to do. Is Fundora going to vacate the belts, or, we seen Errol come to the fight. We know Errol's not going to come to a fight just to come to a fight. He came to the fight because he believed that's his next opponent. And guys, I'll give you a quick prediction. If Fundora versus Errol Spence happen, Errol Spence cooks Fundora. I'm just be honest with you. A 70% Errol Spence beats Fundora. A 60% Errol Spence beats Fundora. The reason why is a huge skill gap. 100% Errol Spence destroys Fundora. But let's just say Errol Spence is 70. All he has to be is 60 to 70%, and he beats Fundora. Both Fundora and Tszyu are basic fighters. The best guys at 147 has always been better than the best guys at 154. These guys at 154, they're solid fighters, but they're not pound for pound talent. But anyway, Terence Crawford checks Errol Spence and Fundora. Listen, man, I'm next. Earl got to wait on line. You going to have to see me, And this would be a disgusting move by the PBC if they really put on the fight with Fundora and Errol Spence Jr. And somehow Fundora is able to bypass his WBO mandatory in Terence. But Crawford, what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think Fundora actually avoids Bud and fights Errol Spence Jr., or do you believe Crawford will get the Fundora fight? I wanted Tim to win because I didn't think Tim was going to vacate, even though his manager said he was going to vacate. But I didn't think he was going to do it. I think he was going to be a man of his word and fight Bud because that's his mandatory. But Fundora, I've already heard Fundora manager say they want to maximize their money. He's like, it's time to cash out. So, yeah, he's going to cash out against Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence going to win those belts. Everybody's going to say the big fish is back. Styles make fights. Errol Spence has a nice, solid, tight defense. Fundora's not going to hit Errol like he was able to hit Tszyu. Tszyu fights with his freaking hands down. Errol keeps a high, solid guard. Fundora's not going to break that guard. Earl's going to keep Fundora at bay with the jab and then punish him to the body.